Welcome back to Packmates. We're doing the Bro limited set review. We're on to artifacts and lands. Don't forget to follow along to these set reviews on your own. There's links in the description. I'm Ryan, the aggro expert.
I'm Roby, the journal expert.
I'm Andrew, the mid-range expert.
And we are the Packmates.
We are the Pack. Yeah.
All right, first up, we got common artifacts. We have Aeronaut's Wings. 2 colorless for an equipment. Equip creature gets +1/+0 and has flying. Equip for 2. I think this is going to be better than it is in most formats. It's a 5.
Yeah, I have it a 5. It's cute. Gives flying.
Not a big fan of these cards. I give it a 3, but I'm definitely going to be beat by it in this set.
Yeah.
Everybody plays this crap.
Slap it on your 10-10.
Yes.
Next up, we have Energy Refractor. 2 mana for an artifact. Whenever it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Then pay 2 mana and add 1 mana of any color. Sign me up. This turns all my power stones into actual mana. Hell yeah. I give this a 7.
Yeah, this is definitely a 7. It replaces itself and just helps you sort out. Like, you can go into other colors with this thing fairly easily.
I will be doing that.
Do you guys like this because it turns your power stones into a half of a land card?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's sick.
How many power stones do you think you're
It
going to
also draws a card. It just draws a card too.
Like for most decks, you only need like 2 or 3 power stones to get to 8 mana because you're gonna have 5 or 6 laying around.
But then you can get all the different colors.
Yeah, I could play everything.
This
right?
literally fixes your mana too.
At a bad rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This used car salesman has hooked you guys. This is a
nothing worth having in life is free, Brian.
Damn.
That's a life lesson. That's a
freebie.
freebie.
Built like 3 roads and a settlement to get a 2-for-1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true. True. It's a 5.
Next, we have Goblin Firebomb. 1 colorless for an artifact. Has flash. For 7 mana, you can sacrifice Goblin Firebomb to destroy target permanent. Too bad it doesn't exile. I feel like this would be a really sweet one with exile. I like that it has flash though. This would probably be probably 5.
I'm gonna start off with this at a 3. 7, 8 mana to kill something is not where I want to be at all. If I'm playing this, I feel bad, even if I'm using power stones to do it.
Anything.
I probably have this on like a 4. It's pretty mid, but there's decks that want this.
They're called bad decks.
The sacrifice deck.
Sack deck.
Pay 8? No.
You have to sacrifice it.
Yeah. I guess you can just sack it. It sucks itself if you pay the 7, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Next up, we have Mine Worker. This is 2 colorless for an artifact creature assembly worker. It's a 2/1. You can tap it and gain a life. If you control creatures named Power Plant Worker and Tower Worker, you gain 3 life instead. This is a decent 2/1. It's a 4.
Yeah, I have this on a 4. I don't know how much the Tron creature deck is going to be a thing, but
I know I'm going to try it 1 week, and I'm sure it'll be super cute, and I'll have a lot of fun for.
Next up, we have Power Plant Worker, which is 5 mana for a 4/4 assembly worker. You can pay 3 mana, and Power Plant Worker gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If you control the rest of the Tron assembly creatures, you put 2 +1/+1 counters on Power Plant Worker instead of activate only once each turn. This is probably like the payoff for these. It's cute. I'm a fan. Probably like a 4.
Yeah.
It's probably more of a 5.
Yeah, this is the best one.
Yeah, it's definitely good. I mean, you get a 6/6 for 5 colorless, and then it can grow itself if you got all the rest of them. If you got all the rest of them, it probably creeps up to like a 6, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm at a 4. I don't like it that much.
All right, next we have it's not the other Tron one. It's the Stone Revival unit, 4 colorless for a artifact creature Construct. It's a 2/3. When stone retrieval unit enters the battlefield, create a tapped power stone token. So this gives you access to power stones in any deck that you want. Any color, go for it. This is probably like a 5.
Yeah, it's solid. I think there's a common in every color and colorless that makes a power stone. So that's interesting. It's a 5.
Yeah, I have it at 5. It's super fair.
Next, we have Supply Drop. This is 3 colorless for an artifact. It has Flash. When it enters the battlefield, target creature you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Then you can pay 4 to sacrifice it, tap it and sacrifice it, and draw a card. I feel like this is just so expensive for what it actually does. You might want it. You don't want it, but you'll begrudgingly play it, and then like you need artifacts to enter the battlefield deck because it has Flash and it does something. But I think it's a 2.
I probably have it at like a 4. I think those decks really want it though.
I think it's kind of cool to have a combat trick on this that anybody has access to. And so that might be a little fun. It's a 4. Man, it's so expensive to draw that card, but if you can ever 2-for-1 with this seems pretty good.
Next up, we have Swiftgear Drake, which is 5 mana for a Drake artifact creature. It's a 2/4 flying haste. Whenever it enters the battlefield, put up to 1 target card from a graveyard on the bottom of its owner's library. I have this at like a 3. This is so expensive. It has haste, but I'm not a fan.
I'm with you. I think there's other better things that interact with the graveyard than this thing, and it's just really overcosted for what it is.
I'm thinking about taking the vow on this one.
Ooh.
It's still a 2/4 flying haste, though. It's not that bad. There's reasons you put this card in your deck. It's terrible. It's very bad.
It'd have to be the best unearthed deck I've ever seen.
Like if you had Urza in your deck, the one that gives artifact creatures +2/+2.
Andrew,
like you just jam that.
Andrew, you want to take the vow with me?
I don't know, man.
I feel like you do.
This feels so bad. It's very hard to take the vow on this card though.
Andrew, you put Meteorite in your deck. like this is strictly better than Meteorite.
No, it's not.
Like it's like 2 damage that happens more than one time.
Street cred with our new viewers, man.
You don't get a target. I'm doing it. I'm not playing Swiftgear Drake ever. Cancel me.
It's not that bad.
It's bad. Never do
you guys convinced me. I'm bumming it up to a 4.
Never doing it.
All right, there you go. Oh, I did get Tower Worker. Perfect. Tower Worker, 3 mana for a 1/3 reach. You can tap it to get a waste. I'm just kidding. It's a colorless mana. And if you do if you control the Tron creatures, the Mine Worker, the Power Plant Worker, you get to add 3 mana instead. I kind of like the Power Plant Worker a little better than this, but I think it's kind of fun. This is just like a mana rock, right? And it has a reach, which is pretty cool. So this is definitely, actually, it might be more usable than the other one. So I don't know. It's probably like a 5.
Yeah, I think it's more usable than the other ones outside of like trying to do the thing. It's a 5.
I think it's the worst one. I give it like a 3.
Really?
It's just so slow.
The guy's just trying
3 mana for a 1/3 that taps for a colorless mana.
It has reach.
Man,
yeah. On a 1/3.
1/3 blocks like all the flyers.
Yeah. It's mid to me. I'm not crazy about it. It does block that beautiful serpent flyer. The Drake guy.
Yeah. It makes him look dumb as shit.
That is true. That is true.
Next up, we have Evolving Wilds. This is a land. You can tap it, sack it. Search your library for a basic land card. Put it in the battlefield tapped. This card's solid. You should always take it. It's 6.
It's like I'm the one who plays this the most. Yeah. I think it's like a 5, right?
What? You play it the most too.
I play it for no reason, right? Like I'm taking this card way higher than anyone else here, and I
Then
still
call it
have
a
five.
6
Probably
because it's a
five.
6 for you.
It's
Then
probably like a 5.
if you're taking it
You don't
higher than
need
everyone
it.
else,
Yeah.
I'm actually taking this as a 7. I don't see very much color fixing in this set at all. I don't know if we have.
There is like none.
Yeah, I think this
You
is
have to
actually
use.
higher. We don't
you're
have.
taking this the same level as removal. There's no way.
So I think if you're stretching out to other colors, you're going to need this. You don't have those duels. We've been babied by those duels and tri-lands for quite a while now.
This is just like not a very good replacement. Like I'd rather just have the one little 2-mana draw card artifact to filter
Oh, yeah, I mean, that
than
card's going
this.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that card's going in just regardless. I'm playing that card probably in every deck, right? Like it just replaces itself and just makes your mana better.
Yep. Is it my turn? All right. Takasi's Dig Site, which is a land, and it has tap, add 1 colorless, or 3 tap and surveil 1. Sign me up. I like this card a lot. I like how just any deck gets to play this. I'd probably give this one like a 7. This is good. This really shores up the late game.
I feel like I know it shores up the late game, but I think just because the mana is so bad in this set, if you're going 2 colors or if you're going 3, this is going to feel real bad. And you probably just lose on the spot, honestly, when this is in your hand and you're tri-colored and you don't have all the good stuff or your lands are just really shaky. It's probably like a 4.
I think it's a 5. I think it's solid.
I really like the Scrylands from Strixhaven.
Yeah, but they were dual colored.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just.
Yeah.
It's going to be
But
tough.
like this is almost like a little bit more of a.
Yeah, you don't want to put it in a 3-color deck, but I don't know how often you're gonna be playing 3-color decks realistically.
Yeah, I don't. I think this is like a 2-color format.
I think even in
Yeah.
a 2-color format, it's still kind of like that's still a little sketch too.
No, I'll jam 1 or 2 of these in a 2.
If mono decks are a
You'll
thing,
jam 2.
Yeah, I'll jam 2.
if monocolor decks are a thing, this card's insane. This is like a reason to go monocolored. Not really a reason, but
Yeah,
it's sick and monocolored.
Like, monocolored
Like you shouldn't just
Yeah,
take
yeah.
this as a signal to
yeah.
move into monocolored. But
No, you should. You definitely should.
yeah,
You
for
heard
sure.
it here first. It's a signal.
Takeshi's dig site, go monocolored.
Yeah. That's
Yep.
it.
Solid.
All right. Next up, we're into our uncommons. We're gonna start off with Argivian Avenger, 6 colorless for a 5/5 artifact creature shapeshifter. For 1 colorless, until the end of turn, Argivian Avenger gets -1/-1, and you gain your choice of flying, vigilance, death touch, or haste. This guy's pretty cool. He's really modal. Just a dangerous dude out for a prowl. 5.
5?
5.
I think I'm at a 7. He just kind of does it all.
Yeah.
He seems solid. You're gonna first pick him and be happy because you know you're playing him. He's a 7.
Yeah, I have him at like a 7. I wish you could get a lifelink off him.
I wish he had trample, actually.
It makes me really mad that he's a shapeshifter but doesn't have changeling.
I wish he had
Stupid.
prowess.
But he's shaped.
That would be busted.
Oh,
That would be like a 8.
that'd be an odd ability to tack onto that.
All right, we've already talked about this card a little bit. I'm excited. Levitating statue. 2 colorless for an artifact as flying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a 1/1 counter on it. And then you can pay 2, and it becomes a 1/1 construct artifact creature until end of turn. So just sits back, gets some counters, and it's a big flyer. Traditionally, these cards are not good at all, but this one is. It's a 6.
Yeah, I have this at 8. This card's disgusting. The fact it can dodge all the sorcery speed removal is like a super real thing. Plus, it has flying, right? Like, so it's just a massive flyer that
Yeah.
like is hard to deal with. I'm a huge fan. And it's cheap to activate. It only costs 2 mana.
Only costs 2 power stones.
Yeah. They ain't doing nothing anyways, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, really, they're gonna do nothing for you the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a 7. I mean, it's really good. It helps in that spells matters deck. It's just good. It's just dodge, sorcery, removal. Like, couldn't really ask for much more.
Like you only need like 2 or 3 counters on it to start going in with it.
Yeah, I think 3 counters and you're really
3
happy.
counters, yeah, you're stoked.
Yeah.
Is it just an instant or sorcery?
Non-creature.
Yeah, 6. I mean, all their shitty little artifacts and 2 mana draw 1
Yeah,
artifact.
here, stupid ass filters.
Sick.
I think if you ever get 2 of these, like your opponent's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Off each other too. It's funny.
Bro.
All right. Next up, we have Reconstructed Thopter, which is 3 mana for Thopter, which is a 2/1 flying with Unearth 2. This is cute. I think this is gonna be kind of sick in your little aggro decks. Like just being able to get that extra 2 damage in the late game. I'll probably give it like a 5. It's not that bad.
I'll give it a 4. Kind of whatever.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a 6. This is solid enough because you can just play it in any deck. 2/1 flying
Yeah.
for 3, they can play in any deck. That's a 6. You can take it early in the draft and just be confident you're going to be able to play that card.
All right. Next up, we have Slagstone Refinery for 4 mana. It's an artifact. When Slagstone Refinery or another non-token artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield or is put into exile from the battlefield, create a tapped Power Stone. This is probably a 2 or a 3.
This thing can make so many power stones. It makes 2 power stone tokens off of 1 unearth card. I think you're gonna want this in your late game power stone decks. I think it's gonna be sick. It's build around D, but I'll give it a build around 7.
Yeah, I'm like at a build around 6. It looks like it's pretty expensive, right? And does absolutely nothing. but like, man, like the dream is real with it. Like you could do some real nutty stuff with it.
This turn 4 you play this, and turn 5 you play the Rager. And then you unearth the Rager.
Stupid.
That's so much.
It's so dumb.
If you have any reason at all to care about power stones, I think you just are gonna put this into your deck.
Yeah, it's cute. It's cute. I'm a huge fan.
Although it just does nothing. Like when
it does do absolutely.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing.
Yeah, it does.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, it does do nothing. I just want to play it. I can't explain
I
it.
want to play it.
I know it's bad. My brain does, but my heart is in love.
Oh my god.
Love is blind.
It is. Facts.
Next up, we have Spectrum Sentinel. This is 1 mana for an artifact creature soldier. 1/2 protection from multicolored. Whenever a non-basic land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, you gain 1 life. This is fine. I don't think protection from multicolored is very relevant at all. 1/2 is not very good. Non-basic lands are not going to be entering the battlefield that much. This is actually like a 2.
Yeah, I've had a 3 because of soldier attacks.
Okay.
It's still a soldier. It's a 1 mana soldier. Right.
I'll put it at a 2. I mean, you're not tripping. The last ability, you're probably never tripping.
Yeah, that does nothing.
Multicolored is
Yeah.
kind of just annoying.
Extra does nothing.
You will feel good when it sits back and blocks multicolored stuff, though.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean.
Next up, we have Steel Exemplar, 5 mana for a 4/4 wizard with trample. It's an artifact creature. It enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it unless 2 or more colors of mana were spent to cast it. This is your monocolored payoff. And it's still not very good. It's okay though. I'm kind of a fan. Like I'd probably give it like a 5.
Oh yeah, I'm at a 5 with this. Probably a 6. I mean, you're
I
gonna
like
get a
it.
6/6 trampler. I mean, it's pretty
For
good.
5, yeah.
Yeah, it's a 5.
All right, next we have Suchi Cave Guard For 8 mana, you get an 8/8 vigilance with ward 4. When Suchi Cave Guard dies, add 8 mana until the end of turn. You do not lose mana. You do not lose this mana as steps or phases end. So you just get to keep this mana perpetually.
No,
Until
until
end of
the end
turn.
of
Until the end
turn.
of turn.
Yep.
All right.
So if it dies on your opponent's turn,
you get to use
it's
it.
kind of terrible unless you just have like an 8 mana flash.
Unless you can
artifact.
draw 3 cards with that blue guy.
Well, you
Yeah.
don't. But you don't lose this mana as the steps or phases end.
Only until end of turn. You
So,
don't lose
Until
so
the
you
end
get
of
to keep
turn,
the
yeah.
mana for your next turn, right?
No,
Yeah.
because it says till end of turn you don't lose the mana.
Hmm.
So you just get it until the end step, right?
It just
Yeah.
lets yeah.
I don't know. This is just a good Power Stone guy. It's fine. It's a good payoff. It's like a 6. It's got a
This
good
is
board cost.
the sickest combo in the entire world with the card that nobody wants. You know what that card is? That black card that gives a +2/+0. When it dies, you get to return it to your hand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's kind of disgusting because you just play it on it, it dies, and you have the 8 mana again, you just plop it back down.
Mm.
Like, okay. You want to do it again?
Yeah,
Because I have it again. It's a 6.
Yeah. I probably have this at 7. Like the fact that it has ward 4 is kind of real. It's
Yeah.
kind of hard to deal with.
It might be a 7. Ward 4 is huge. It's a ton
It
of
has a shit ton of mana. Like, yeah, the mana that gives you is kind of irrelevant, but it's just like a big giant 8/8 that's hard to deal with.
You can just sack it and get 8 mana back.
Yeah,
Have 16 mana.
yeah, that's great.
Next, we have Symmetry Matrix. This is a 4 mana artifact. Whenever a creature with power equal to its toughness enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1. If you do, draw a card.
We need
man.
stats on this. We need
We-
stats on
We
this.
do need stats on this, but I'm going to give you one relevant stat for it 1/1 soldier tokens. Hmm?
Yeah,
Hmm?
yeah, yeah.
It's a 4 mana do nothing. It's kind of like a 4. You have to build around it, but it could be fun.
You guys are giving. All right, I give this one like if it's relevant, it'd probably be like a 5. But yeah, paying mana is a lot to ask for.
Yeah. What do you rate it?
5,
5?
5.
Okay.
Maybe a build around 6 if you get there.
I feel like it's probably like a build around 5 and like in reality probably a 2.
Yeah, I mean,
It-
you're not going to play it if you're not built like trying to play
Yeah.
it. But I think if you can make like 5 tokens, nah, it's still not good enough, is it?
For 9 mana, draw 5 cards. Yeah, I'd do that.
I still have it on my statistics sheet though. We'll do
Yeah.
the research on it next week.
Because it is like an uncommon, right? Like it's reasonable that you'd be able to get this
Yeah,
and be able to build around it.
yeah. And there's
I don't know.
some symmetric creatures we're just running around
Yeah.
on their own for sure. I'll try it once. You know, it's like I'm in college. I'll try it once.
Next up, we have Thran Power Suit, which is 2 mana for equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each aura and equipment attached to it, and has Ward 2, and it has Equip 2. It's a trap. It's a hardcore trap. Like, how many bone saws do you need in your deck to make this good? Like,
This is the only reason I'm putting bone saws in my deck.
Yeah.
yeah. It seemed like the past couple sets, the equipment deck's always been a trap. I'm not convinced. I have to lose to it. I'd probably give it like a 3.
A 3. So you get a +1/+1 in Ward 2 just for nominally just having it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels like a 4, maybe a 5. I feel like I just play this. Like Ward 2.
Like, Andrew's gonna play this. like that's for
Put it
sure.
on a flyer and just get in, and then they're gonna wonder like how the heck they're losing to this Ward 2 guy.
I don't know. I mean, I think with this set, and I know we keep saying like Power Stones. If you listener, if you have $1 for every time we said Power Stones, you'd be pretty happy listening to this set review.
That was a drinking game. We'd be
Yeah,
possible.
you have a dangerous
Alcohol
BAC.
poisoning.
Yeah, I'll go boy.
But I think like equipments are going to be a little bit better in this set because Power Stones exist. Honestly, I think it's a
Please
4.
don't play a drinking game like that. We
Yeah, we do not condone alcohol. Don't have fun. I think it's Andrew.
Next up, we have Demolition Field. It's a land. Taps for Colorless. And then you can pay 2, sacrifice Demolition Field to destroy target non-basic land and opponent controls. That land's controller may search their library for a basic land and put it into the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. You may do the same. You can search for a basic land, put it in the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Yep. It's fine. I don't know how many non-basic lands there are going to be. So in draft, it's probably like, unless they've got something really crazy, this is definitely like a sideboard card. And then obviously in constructed, it's probably decent.
What are you giving it?
I give it a 1. I mean, it's really just a sideboard card.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. It's a 1.
I'd probably give it like a 0. I don't know how much you'd ever play it. Maybe a 1. 1's fair.
I would have definitely played it in the last set, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. If they have like some savage like
There's a good rare land.
there's a good rare land coming up, so we'll see
Yeah.
it then.
Yeah. I just feel like if you had non-basic lands that you knew you could hit like every game, kind of like you did in Dominaria, you know, you'd play it because it kind of fixes your land too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this is not the set. All right, we're on to the rares and mythics. We have Cityscape Leveler. This is a 8 mana artifact creature construct with it's an 8/8 with trample. And whenever you cast this spell and whenever it attacks, destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent, its controller creates a tapped Power Stone token. And you can unearth it for 8. This is a super sick Power Stone payoff. This is just you want to cast this all the time. That what was it? What's the 7/7 3/3? The 7 mana 3/3 that destroys something when it comes into play? What's that? Oh god. What's that card called, guys? You know what I'm talking about?
Remember.
Oh, Meteor Golem?
Yeah, Meteor Golem. This is like Meteor Golem on HGA. It's super good. This is a 9.
Yeah, I have it at 9. Yeah, it's gross.
It's a 9. It's so good.
It's cute that like whenever it attacks, you can destroy their untapped Power Stone to make a tapped one.
It's cute that you unearth it and kill 2 things. Comes into play,
Yeah.
swings. Like that's insane.
Yeah, it's mega cute. It might be a 10, realistically.
It might be. It might be.
All right, next up we have Liberator Urza's Battlethopter. 3 mana for a legendary artifact creature Thopter. It's a flash flying 1/2. You may cast colorless spells in artifact spells as though they have flash. Whenever you cast a spell, if the amount of mana spent to cast the spell is greater than Urza's Battlethopter's power, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Yeah, this slaps. It's probably like a 7, maybe an 8. It'll get real big and stupid.
I mean, it definitely feels like an 8, but also feels like it was from the unset.
Yeah, it's really stupid. I don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
This card's like nuts. This is a 9, maybe a 10. It's like a 1/2 flyer that every time you cast a spell, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, like a Fairy Vandal, right?
Yeah, but instead of drawing cards, you just have to play cards.
Yeah.
Any card. And it gives your artifacts flash. Like
that's
also not nothing.
But it's legendary, right, Ryan? You can only put one of these in your deck. You know?
They're rare. You're only
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
It's a 9.
I'm just
Giving your other stuff flash is so good too.
Like I'm just saying Battlethopter every time I'm playing this thing, right?
Yeah.
I'll be like, I'm sorry, I can't see it. What is it called?
So it's Battlethopter.
I don't know which Battlethopter is it.
How many battles are there? All right, next we have a Portal to Phyrexia. 9 colorless mana for an artifact, Mythic. When Portal to Phyrexia enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices 3 creatures. At the beginning of your upkeep, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It's a Phyrexian in addition to its other types. 10.
And he says,
This guy, I mean, if you can get this with the Power Stone payoff that y'all be talking about all the time.
I don't know. You've been talking about a lot, Andrew.
I don't just assume I have infinite Power Stones, but I feel like this would make a reason to get to that Power Stone mana. Cards like this, like there was a card back in Ravnica called Debtor's Knell that costed 7, and it basically did the same thing as this, except the sacrificing part was not stapled onto it. But just getting your creature back every turn during your upkeep is just so savage. I mean, it just is the kind of card that ends a game.
Man. You let whoever. Oh man, I'm lost on the proverb.
Go Ryan.
Go
Ryan.
You live in a glass house. You should throw stones, Andrew. You said this is a 10, and I'm not in magical freaking Power Stone land.
What do you give it? What's your rating?
It's an 8.
8? Is it a build around 10?
Yeah, it's a build around 10. No. It's a build around 8 because it costs 9. You have to build around it to play it.
You put 10s. Okay.
Okay, so this is a hard 10 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, this card's disgustingly good.
So
like
the minute
also
you lost the game.
There is also 5 mana reanimator spells that target artifacts. So if you could ever like get this into your graveyard and cheat it into play, they still have to sacrifice 3 creatures, right?
Yeah.
Like that's a massive. This card is foul.
Like, how do you cast this and not win on the spot? Like, really, like incrementally, like
this is like Ulamog.
like I think you guys are confusing on the spot with like overtime. 3 creatures is a ton. Like, don't get it twisted. 3 creatures is a ton to sack in limited. I agree. Yeah. Putting stuff like at the beginning of your upkeep, so like next turn, you get something like you get a creature. But to tap 9 mana and make me sack 3, you have to be at parity at least to play this card with me. Like or close to it.
No. I could have nothing on the battlefield, Ryan.
If I only have 3 creatures, sure.
Yeah. Which is like, so I have to be at parity. I have to have 3 less creatures than you.
Like you can't be
which
like
is way
looking
less
down
than
the
parity.
barrel, right? You can't be like looking down the barrel. Like you can't. Your life can't be threatened in any way. This is a 9 mana.
You could have 3 10-10s, Ryan.
No,
what are you talking about? I have to be a parody. That's the most ridiculous thing.
You can quote me on this. There's no way this is a 10. There's no way this card's a 10.
Yeah, it is.
It'll be very good, but it will not be one of the top 5.
I'm gonna laugh when
I would love. I would have put it in stone that Ryan said that this card isn't good unless you're at parity.
I didn't mean parity. I meant like close to parity, right? Like you're not just going to be getting stomped and then this card's going to win you the game. That's never going to happen.
Yeah.
No.
It is.
No.
You can have 3 10-10s, like 3 9-9s.
3 10-10s. You done lost a long time ago, my friend.
Yeah, you don't even need a trigger. I mean, just like your opponent sacrifices a 3, you just get in and win.
3 creatures is a shit ton.
It is. 3 creatures is a shit ton.
Yeah.
But like, okay, stand behind this. Quote me on this. Write it down. This will not be in the top 5 improvement when drawn cards, and it definitely won't be in the top 5 opening hand when rate cards.
Well, not opening hand rate, obviously. I mean,
but it will not be in the top 5, and it might not even be in the top 10 improvement when drawn cards.
In the set. It's real stupid.
It's real dumb.
Therefore, not a 10.
If you could ever reanimating, I think you're trying to reanimate this.
Yeah, I mean, you're just trying to play it at any means necessary. The key is playing it and not dying like instantly.
Yeah. That kind of does.
Which the sack 3 creatures kind of does.
It does that for you.
It kind of does. Kind of does. Hopefully they didn't have other stuff.
Does.
Hopefully they didn't have other stuff. Because then I just lose next turn. or soldier tokens.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, what's next? Who even read that?
I'm
Who
so
even read
sad.
that?
I don't know. I think Andrew
I
did.
did.
The Stasis Coffin, 3 mana for legendary artifact. 2 mana, tap it, exile it. You gain protection from everything until the end of your next turn. I guess everything's a 10. That's probably 10 too, right?
All right,
Nah,
fair
this is
enough.
actually bad. It's like a 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have this like it too.
Yeah, I think cards like this, people just always overvalue them because they're like, "Oh, it's just gonna win me the game." It's like, nah, it just saves death one turn.
Who
It
doesn't
is
want
a,
to?
it
Who
is a
doesn't want to
legendary
become
artifact.
Emrakul?
It's a legendary artifact to sack to your 3 mana, splitting the Power Stones card.
Yeah,
All right,
you can actually
moving
draw a
on.
card and get something useful from
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that card's real bad. You're just gonna be sacrificing a Power Stone to get another Power Stone. Ugh.
All right. Next up, we have the Stone Brain, which is a legendary artifact. Also works with splitting the Power Stone. Pay 2, tap, exile the Stone Brain, choose a card name, search target opponent's graveyard, hand and library for up to 4 cards with that name, and exile them. That player shuffles, then draws a card for each card exiled this way. I see worlds where you sideboard this in, but you're not main decking this. Maybe like a 2.
It's a 1. I mean, it's a pure sideboard. If they have
Yeah.
something that you ridiculously just cannot beat, I mean, maybe you just bring this in just to tag it and hopefully get it.
Yeah, get their reanimation stuff or one reanimation spell that
Yeah,
they're
get their
banking
portal
on.
to Phyrexia.
No,
Yeah.
just take the reanimation spell that they're going to use to cast it. You don't even care about that thing.
Oh, I don't think you're gonna care about it when you lose to it.
I mean, I'm sure I'm going to lose to it.
Oh
But
yeah, you're definitely gonna lose to it.
I would have lost anyway.
Probably so. All right. Next we have Thran Spider. For a 3 colorless, you get a 2/4 reach artifact creature spider. If you didn't know, Thran Spider is a spider. When Thran Spider enters the battlefield, you and target opponent each create a tapped Power Stone. And then for 7, you get to look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Well, I think this is worth giving your opponent a tap Power Stone for. I think this kind of reminds me of just getting out there and just really start digging with this guy in colorless. It goes in every kind of deck. I think this guy's pretty solid. It's a 6.
Yeah, I'm at an 8. Like, I think if you're playing this guy, you're saying I can use my Power Stone better than you can, right? So,
Yeah.
and it's like a enabler and a payoff. It's just solid. It's an 8.
Actually, it probably is a 7. It's 2/4 for 3 is pretty high.
Yeah,
I'd probably have it on like a 7.
it's literally everything you want to do in the Power Stone deck.
Yeah,
It makes a
like,
Power Stone, it blocks, and it's a payoff.
Like I've played Giant Spider before, and this guy's already past that, and it gives you a rampy, so that's pretty good.
I think the reach is nice, but
Yep.
Alright,
Next up, we have Battlefield Forge. This is a land. You can tap it to pay a colorless. These are the pain lands. We're just do all the pain lands. This one's a red-white, but we're rating all the pain lands. In the last set, they weren't that good because the non-basic common lands were much better because they said mountain plains on them. This set doesn't have those. Therefore, these lands are going to be better in this set. I'm going to give it a 7.
I'll probably give him like a 6.
I'll give him a 7. I mean, this looks like the only fixing in this set, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. And the colorless mana is actually kind of relevant, I guess, just because you have a bunch of colorless creatures in your decks.
You can never really rely on having him though. That's my only
Yeah.
gripe with him. Alright, next up we have Blast Zone, which is a land. Blast Zone enters the battlefield with a charge counter on it. It taps for a colorless. You can pay double X to put X charge counters on it. And then you can also pay 3, tap it, sacrifice it, destroy each non-land permanent with mana value equal to the number of charge counters on Blast Zone. This is like a 7. I've played with it before. It was in a previous set. It was pretty good.
Yeah, this is 7.
Yep, lands that kill stuffs are good.
Hmm?
All right, next up we have Fortified Beachhead. As Fortified Beachhead enters the battlefield, you may reveal a soldier from your hand. Fortified Beachhead, Enters the battlefield tapped unless you reveal a soldier card this way, or you control a soldier. Uh, you get to tap it for a plains or an island. It's a dual land, and then for 5, you get to give all your soldiers +1/+1 until the end of turn. That is solid. I think you may just play it just as not even for the soldier payoff. If you don't even have soldiers, this is a dual land. 5.
Yeah, I'm at a 7 on that. I think you'll just play it as a dual land.
Yeah.
I've had a 6. I like it better than the top lance.
Yeah.
Than the pan lance. So.
Yep, and you'll be thrilled to play it in a soldier deck.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Next we have Hall of Tagseen. This is a land. Tap it, add a colorless. You can pay 1, tap it, add a mana of any color, so you can convert your power stones with it into real mana. And then you can pay 4, tap it, and create a tap power stone token. This card seems really good. It's an 8.
Yeah, I have this at an 8 too. This is like the one card that you sideboard in the like Field of Ruin for. Yeah, like this card's good.
No, there's another card that you'd probably want to fill the ruin too coming up.
Probably Blast Zone too, right?
Yeah, this is 8.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan.
Speaking of the next card.
Oh yeah, this is another Field of Ruin card. This is Mishra's Foundry, which is a land. Taps for a colorless. You can pay 2, becomes a 2/2 assembly worker. Or you can pay 1 and tap it. Target attacking assembly worker gets +2/+2 until end of turn. This is good. It's probably like a 7. Probably a 7.
Yeah, I got it at a 7. It's probably going to be good. There's other assembly workers too with the tower, power plant, and mine guy. So
Yeah.
fun.
I got it at a 6. I think it's good.
The Might and Weak Stone, 5 colorless for a legendary artifact power stone. Oh my gosh. I love me some 5 mana. Just rocks out there. This is so good. All right. When the Might Stone and Weak Stone enters the battlefield, they get to choose one. I'm already saying I because I'm going to be playing this card if I ever see it. Draw 2 cards, or you get to give target creature -5/-5 until the end of turn. And then this taps for 2 colorless mana. This mana can't be spent to cast non-artifact spells, so it's double power stone. Yeah, this is really good. I mean, this is just straight up removal for any color. I mean, you just put this in your deck. It's a 10. I mean, it just goes in every deck.
Oh my god, everything's a 10. This is not a 10. It's good.
Like, do you ever cut this card never make a deck? It makes every deck.
But this card never just wins you the game.
But it just is there. You're always playing it. Like, this is just the first card you put in your deck.
It's like an 8 it's like an 8, but a 10 is like the Archangel of last set or Herd Migration, or you know what I mean? Like,
but it costs 5 mana as an artifact.
it's just solid. This is just a solid 8. It's just better than removal because it can do more stuff than just removal.
Then you get to meld and make Urza.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can meld and make Urza. That would be a 10.
That'd be 11, actually. I mean, you should not be losing. If you ever meld something and you lose, man, that's got to feel rude. That's a feel bad time.
It is going to be funny when someone melds something and you just kill it. And it's like, you just 2 for 1 them because they melded.
No.
That would be hilarious.
That just, oh, gosh.
He's like, you don't get to have fun. Like, they're so excited, and you're just like, 1 mana exile it with the black card, the black common.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Nah, maybe I overvalue it. It's like it. I mean, it's definitely just is never cut. It's always played.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with everything you say besides 10.
Yeah.
Like, you're putting in every deck. It's super good.
Yeah.
It's removal colorless, or you can draw 2 cards.
First
it's like
pick.
a double power stone.
Yeah.
It's like a soul ring.
Well, it can only be used to cast non-artifact spells. So it's just a
Yeah.
power
I was like,
stone.
dear listener, if you're ever passing this, you better have something. You better be having like a worm coil engine in there.
Yeah, draft an actual 10 over this for
Yeah.
sure.
I can't even imagine you drafting anything over this.
I have this at 8. I love it.
Yeah.
It's good.
Next we
up,
have
Oh, it's your turn. Yeah.
Next, we have Argoth, Sanctum of Nature. It's a land, and it enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a legendary green creature. You can tap it for green. You can pay for tap it and make a 2/2 bear token, then mill 3 cards. Activate only as a sorcery. That mill 3 cards is kind of gross. You don't kind of want to do that too much with this because you just want to be pumping out 2/2 bears when you don't have nothing to do. With that being said, I do still think it's pretty solid. It's a 7. Pumping out 2/2 bears with your land seems good.
Yeah, I probably have it on like a heavy 6.
Yeah, I got it at a heavy 6. It's coming to play tapped every time. I mean, you have to
Yeah.
control a legendary green creature. And then if you melt this, I guess it becomes... I don't even know what Titania Voice of Gaia does, but it has Gaia in the name.
Oh, my God. Yeah, Gaia.
Yeah, it does have Gaia.
Okay.
All right, that was our artifacts and
Bye.
lands. See you later.
Whew, let's go to bed.
I felt like I hustled on that.